Hello, welcome back to my writing course. Professor Kent Lee here. I'm going to explain a few things in this video about the stuff I'm doing this week and about the midterm and the midterm schedule. Of course, during week 8, during the midterm week, no classes, no video lectures because it's midterm time. You're doing an essay, a literature review or proposal assignment for the midterm, which you turn in through the LMS. That's enough. There are no classes, no class sessions during the midterm in that case. You can upload your document in the LMS. Any kind of normal format is fine. Microsoft Word, LibreOffice, Google Docs, PDF, whatever. If it's a Google Doc, make sure you go into the settings and change the link so that I can actually access it so that other people with that link can see the document. It's easy to forget. During midterm week and even a little bit before that, I will be available if you need to contact me. If you have questions or need help or advice or suggestions for your paper. Keep in mind the academic week goes from Wednesday to Tuesday this semester, by the way. So I will post an announcement in the LMS, or will have by now, by the time you see this video, saying, hey, here's a Zoom link, here are certain times. You can come into Zoom and talk to me if you need help. So I'll make several sessions available for students in this class and all my classes, in fact, if you need any help with the midterm, advice, suggestions, anything, or you just want to talk to me and get some feedback on what you're doing with your midterm topic, please do so. I will be available. Otherwise, I'll be really lonely and sad if nobody comes into my Zoom sessions and I'll just drink too much coffee and, that's not good. So, come see me during consultation times in Zoom. Times and Zoom links will be posted in the LMS. Next, let me tell you what I'm doing with the videos here in week 7. Yeah, I'm changing the schedule a little bit for weeks 5 through 7. I've gone through some material faster than I expected. But also, there's some things about professional writing I had planned. I decided to cut it out of this course. Those were things mainly for graduate students or those wanting to go to graduate school. There are, I think, maybe 2 graduate students taking my classes, but otherwise, and maybe a couple of people who might actually be interested in going to graduate school. But with this being like a video semester and all, kind of weird, I decided not to cover it because it's not really relevant to a lot of people. These are kinds of documents that you would use either for applying for a master's, PhD program, or if you're an academic person in a graduate program, you're applying for an academic job, a research job, you might use a CV. To apply for graduate school, you'd use an SOP. To apply for an academic job, you'd use a CV. I felt that's not really relevant to most students in this class, so at least for this year, I'm cutting it out of the schedule. Now, if you are in graduate school or wanting to go to graduate school, and you want to talk to me about writing an SOP or CV, come to one of my consultation sessions. We could talk about that too. It's not just for talking about your midterms. You can talk about other stuff. If you need general advice about school, about graduate school, writing an SOP, writing a CV, writing a dissertation for your PhD program, come to my consultation session. The link will be in the LMS. So instead of that, for week 7, I'm going to recycle some really old videos from about 2 years ago for my first semester here at Bugün. So the audio and video quality is not great. Sorry about that. But I talk about the citation systems somewhat, and we're going to come back to citation systems near the end of the semester, maybe if we have time, if we need to, or such. But there's some old videos where I talk about some of the details of citing sources in your papers and how to cite different kinds of sources, no matter which citation, for different citation systems, actually. And also a video on how to find sources, some tips for finding academic articles in like Google Scholar. I'll show you how to do that in some old videos. to help you with the midterm. I think that's maybe more relevant for you in your midterm, and then some of the stuff I decided to cut out. For your midterm, for your final paper, you can use whatever citation system you want to use. You can use the Chicago footnote style. I would recommend that if you're using Chicago, it kind of looks more professional or scholarly if you use the Chicago author date system, where in the text you have the author and the year. That version of the Chicago system, but Chicago footnote system is fine too. It's okay. As long as you have the works cited at the end of your paper, you still need that, whether you're using, regardless of which Chicago system you're using. If you don't know what I'm talking about, in humanities fields, other than literature, a lot of humanities fields like philosophy and history, maybe media studies, they use the Chicago system. So one version of the Chicago system, in the text of your paper, go blah, 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 and you footnote the source, and the bottom of the paper is, in the footnote is information about the source. That's the Chicago footnote system. I'll provide a link, actually. I'll post a link in the LMS with a link to my website with an overview of this and other citation systems. That's the Chicago footnote style. It's kind of a more semi-formal style. The more formal style, the Chicago manual, has instead in the text blah blah blah, parentheses, author and year. And of course, in both cases, whether you're using footnotes or the parentheses, the parenthetical citation, at the end of your paper you should have a works cited section where you give full information about the sources. If you are in if you're doing a paper about a literature analysis topic, like for a literature class, for your class on poetry or novels or short stories or something, an English literature course, comparative literature, or whatever, likely use the MLA system. I'll provide a link to my website that describes the MLA system. Or if you want to, I can share an old video with you about the MLA, which I use for my intermediate writing class. In theoretical linguistics, they tend to use Chicago, sometimes APA. APA is a system where you have like author and year. Instead of in references, the bibliography is called the in references section, not works cited. In Chicago and MLA, it's called the works cited section, where the bibliography basically is called works cited. Often in Chicago and usually in MLA. In APA, it's called end references. Okay, so the end references look different. APA, anyway, is used for psychology, many areas of sociology, linguistics, many areas of linguistics, not all, but many, especially applied linguistics, language education, education in general, various education fields use APA. If you're I have at least, I tend to have like a couple of students regularly, not just this semester, but in past semesters. I get students from engineering and science fields. You can use the citation system that's used in your field. Whether you're nursing, engineering, information technology, biology, law, whatever, use the citation system that's used in your field. You can just look at the articles that you're reading in your field and imitate the style. If you don't know, you can ask your professor, hey, what's this system called? For engineering, it's often the IEEE or IEEE system. For biology, the CBE system is common. For nursing, often they use APA or the Vancouver system, Vancouver style. For law, they often use the Blue Book or Yale style. You might have heard of, some of you might have heard of something called Harvard. That's kind of a general old system that's very similar to APA. It's used to be used in a lot of just various different fields. Any system you like, it's fine with me. I've read a lot of papers for other professors from different fields. I'm used to all of it. Just throw it at me, whatever system you want to use. It's a chance for you to practice the system that's used in maybe the course that you're taking. You're writing, you're using this midterm to start on a paper for another class, whatever class that is. Learn the style of references and citations, citing sources that's used in that field, and do it in my class for practice. It's a chance for you to practice. That's all the announcements I have for now. I think a little bit more will be posted in the LMS. I will try to post a sample proposal paper for you to look at, other than that huge monstrous one that I posted in the LMS. So I guess please come to my consultation sessions. If the times aren't good for you, email me and or ask for an appointment. We can arrange a time, especially during the midterm week, during week 8. Let me know at least how you're doing. You just come in and to the Zoom session, just let me know how things are going. Talk to me so I'm not too lonely. Good luck on your midterms. Looking forward to reading them. Professor Kentley out. Till next time, see you later. Bye.